want to take the time and just thank God for this warning that I was given, because through a dream, He allowed me to witness what hell is, at least what it would be for me. But I would say I actually fell asleep close to about like 3:40 in the morning. I tossed and turned, but God actually finally gave me rest at about 3:40 in the morning. However, the dream that I had will be one that I don't forget. I'm sitting there and I'm resting. And I know that I'm asleep. However, the only thing I see is the back of my eyelids. Everything is completely dark. I don't see anything. However, I feel heat. I feel heat on my chest, to the fact of where it felt as somebody touched you on the chest with a hot iron. Everything was dark. In the background, I hear cackling, I hear screams, and I hear laughter. Like very faint laughter. Just very faint laughter in the background. And I can sense that I'm being carried because I'm not walking. And this scares me because I'm completely surrounded by darkness. I can't see anything. However, I get brought to a place where the only thing around me is encompassed by fire. The best way I can explain it is like being in a cave that's literally surrounded by fire. Just imagine a cave on fire. And the only type of smell I can sense in this dream is like a smell that you get when there's like an electrical fire. Like when you smell something electric burning, like electricity, like it's burning. And you can smell it. But I got brought to an area where there was this flame, this cave, and I absolutely see demons. And the most ironic thing about it is they look like me. Tall, slim, African American. They look completely normal. They look like me. There were 6 of them. Two of them had my ankles. 2 of them had my wrists. And 1 of them held my head. They take me to this place and they absolutely bind me to where I can't move. And my mouth is actually wedged open. And the 6th demon reaches into my mouth and he pulls out my tongue. Now I stick out my tongue just so you can see how long it is now. However, when I tell you that it was stretched, it was stretched. I can't even tell you how long it was stretched. However, I do remember specifically the number 55. I don't know if it was yards, meters, feet, inches, I don't know. I know that my tongue was stretched. And I did hear one of the demons say, 55 is when he died because he lied. 55 is when he died because he lied. It was almost like a chant. But my tongue gets stretched and is put inside of a clamp. I couldn't even scream. I don't know if you guys understand in regards to how often you actually use your tongue to speak words. As kids, we used to play a game where it was like, hold your tongue and try to say a word, and you couldn't understand a single word that was saying. I couldn't even scream because my tongue was stretched out that far. But the same demon who grabbed my tongue, he grabs a scroll and he rolls out this scroll. And the scroll alone is 2.5 times longer than what they just pulled my tongue out to. And on this scroll is very, very fine print. Very, very fine print. Small words. I can't begin to tell you how many words was on this scroll. However, the same demon who pulled out my tongue, he looks at me and says, "For every lie you have spoken, you shall receive 1,000 cuts on your tongue." The sad thing is he proceeded to do the cuts. He started off with a razor blade. They were very, very shallow cuts, not deep in my tongue at all, but deep enough where I bled and that I could feel every last piece of the pain. He utilized many different things, from a razor blade to some actual broken glass that was dull, and he kind of had to carve into my tongue, to an axe, to a small hatchet, all the way down to the point where he grabbed a rock from off of the wall of the cave that was actually burning. It was on fire, and he proceeded to cut my tongue with that as well. If I have to describe to you what my tongue looked like, it would be like tree bark. If you ever looked at a tree up close and personal, an old tree, a big tree, and you look at its tree bark with all the veins and all the cracks and all the bruises, the swollen areas that it may look like, think about that on your tongue. And this process repeated itself 4 times in that dream. During that 4th time, I woke up. Now, I mentioned the last thing he used was a burning rock from the wall of the cave. I still speak to you right now with that burning sensation on my tongue as if I drank some really hot coffee. I don't drink coffee, but I can still feel that burning sensation on my tongue. This is something that is very difficult to express and or talk about. But in the beginning, I said it is something I have to give God thanks for, because I have to receive it as a very firm warning. And if God decides to warn you, that is Him also telling you, you are one of my children. You need to correct your steps. There are many people here on this earth right now who's doing all sorts of iniquity, and they don't get the opportunity of what I just had, and that is actually being able to see. To be able to see what your torment can be, what it actually really feels like being separated from God. On this day, I sit as a humble man and would like to publicly apologize to any and every individual who I have wronged through lies, through disobedience, through deceit. I did not want to lead you astray if I have. If God did not reveal to me these dreams, I would have never known the power of what deceit can do. I encourage that everybody take some time to themselves and actually reflect, really dig deep and reflect on what needs to be improved, what needs to work on. Certain sins that you haven't confessed, confess them, leave them at the foot of the cross, and ask God to legitimately manifest in you a new mind and a new heart so you can be a new being, a new you. Search for love every day. Pray. Thank God for every single blessing. Once again, I just want to thank you for your time, and thank you, God, for sending me these dreams.